The Almas cryptid, Mongolia. They say the most terrifying monsters are the ones that still breathe the same air as we do. Hidden in the mountains, waiting, watching. Not ghosts, not demons, but something ancient, flesh and blood, yet not quite human. Deep in the shadowed ranges of Mongolia, in the unforgiving expanse between the Altai Mountains and the wild steppe, there are whispers of a creature that defies logic, science, and belief. They call it the Almas, a cryptid older than civilization itself. And some say, it's still out there. The story begins with an expedition. In 1996, a team of zoologists and anthropologists set out into the Mongolian highlands, following a trail of strange reports, sightings of a humanoid figure, covered in reddish-brown hair, walking upright but not like a man. Locals spoke of it in hushed tones, not as myth, but as a warning. The Almas was not a legend to them. It was real, and it was not to be disturbed. One of the researchers, Dr. Lena Hartmann, kept a journal of the journey. Her entries began with fascination, documenting wild tracks in the snow, massive footprints too wide to be from any known animal, claw marks gouged into trees more than 2 meters high. But soon, her notes took a darker turn. We heard it again last night. Something was circling the camp. Not a bear. It was walking 2 legs, deliberate, watching, always watching. Their guide, a hardened local named Batu, refused to go any further after the 4th night. He told them a story of a boy who once followed strange calls into the woods. The next morning, only his bloodied clothes were found, torn apart and left hanging from tree branches, too high for any human to reach. The team laughed nervously, brushing it off as folklore. But that night, Dr. Hartmann recorded screams in the distance. Not animalistic, not human, something in between. The next morning, one of the crew, a young researcher named David, was missing. They searched for hours, calling his name through the canyons. Eventually, they found his boot, still laced but with no foot inside. Just a pool of blood beside a shattered tree trunk, like something had slammed him into it with inhuman force. Panic set in. Radios failed. Compass needles spun wildly. They tried to leave, but the path back was gone, swallowed by the shifting fog. They were lost, and something was hurting them. That night, Dr. Hartmann saw it. Through the fog, just at the edge of their dying firelight, stood a figure, over 6 feet tall, covered in thick, matted fur. His posture was hunched but powerful. Arms long, fingers clawed, dangling past its knees. But its face was the worst. A twisted mockery of humanity. Flattened nose, wide mouth filled with broken, yellowed teeth, and eyes. Human eyes. Intelligent. Angry. She couldn't move. Couldn't speak. Just watched as it stared into her soul. Then vanished into the woods. By morning, the expedition was over. The team scattered, traumatized. 2 more would disappear in the following days, and the rest refused to speak of what they'd seen. Dr. Hartmann returned to Germany, a shell of her former self. Her journal was the only account of what truly happened. But even she wrote, "Whatever the Almas is, it's not an animal. It's not a myth. It's something we were never meant to find, and something that won't rest now that we have." To this day, the mountains of Mongolia remain vast and largely unexplored. Travelers sometimes report glimpses, a shadow darting across a ridge, a low growl in the dead of night, or red eyes blinking in the mist. The locals won't go there after dark, and if you ask them why, they'll only shake their heads and whisper, "It remembers." So if you ever find yourself wandering the Mongolian wilds, and you feel eyes on you though you're alone, don't run. Don't speak. Don't even breathe too loudly, because the Almas is still out there, and it's listening.